Okay, I'm making a video about the difficulties of taking out my alternator. Watched a video by, I believe it's pronounced Levon Becker. He has, I think it's titled 2006 Nissan Xterra Alternator. And it's a how-to video, which I followed the advice in that. And I want to tell you, excuse me, I want to tell you the pitfalls, things that his video doesn't cover, and I don't know why not, but I followed his instructions to get all the fan shroud and fan out of there. And one of the difficulties I had was I couldn't get the fan clutch off with these nuts. They started to strip to the point, well, I can't see it, but if you were to turn that fully around, you would see where the metal started to deform. They were in there so good. Anyway, so I took the fan off from the front, and that caused some problems because I almost broke the fan shroud getting it out. It's going to be very difficult to get it back in. So you need a 6-point wrench to get those nuts off in the least, and it doesn't show that in the video. He has different wrenches that I guess his weren't on that tight. Anyway, when you when you get all the bolts out of the alternator and you're ready to pull it, he doesn't show that part. He just shows putting a pry bar in there and prying it loose, but he doesn't show that you have to actually take your wheel off to access that. And then it's very difficult to get out. What he doesn't also tell you is that there are some tie straps that are strapped to, similar to this, lines down there, and they're strapped and screwed with a special tie strap, which they look just like this one, and they mount into that metal part in the back of the alternator. I think there's at least 2 attachments, so you're down there fumbling with it, trying to get it out, wondering why it won't come out. So you have to figure that out. The plug-in and the part that's attached with that you need a wrench to undo, that was easy enough, but mine didn't look like his, so for a while I thought I was tugging on a different part. Once I got that off, then you can unplug the electrical connector, and I would highly advise that before you do this, you go pick up your alternator and you ask the auto parts store for the plug-in part, so that you can plug it in and play with it and figure out how to unplug it and plug it in while you're at the auto parts store before you try to do this, because it was a bitch getting that thing out unplugged. But we did do it. I had to hire a backyard mechanic that came over. He was a 73-year-old dude, and between the two of us we figured it out, but it was not easy. Other things that are not covered, well, getting it in was a pain. I think that's about it. As long as you know about those issues, and if I've forgotten anything, oh, well, I did forget something. Screwing the bolts back in to secure the alternator. He doesn't give you specifications for torque on that, and so I had to look those up on myself, and I had to trust what somebody had. And I think I got the right torque specs. This is torqued down to about, I think it was 90 something, 92 or 97 pounds. And what happened with this one, the second to largest, or the middle bolt, the middle size bolt, was, I'm pretty sure that I stripped that out to some degree. It still tightens down, but it doesn't tighten a lot before it loosens and then tightens again. And so I had a mechanic come out to advise me on that. He said I should be able to just thread lock that in there and it should be okay. So now I got a situation where I have to wonder, is this thing going to fail someday and strand me somewhere? And if it does, my plan is to then bring it to a shop, and as I understand, you can fix that with something called a Healy coil. But if you drill too far in, you're going to go through the engine block, and then you're going to be really screwed. So I'm not going to do that myself. I'm not going to let any backyard mechanic come and do it. I'm going to have an actual shop do that, when that becomes a problem. So these are all things that you need to consider when following these YouTube videos, and I hope this helps somebody avoid the problems. Ask any questions in the comments.